Greetings, JRPG fans. Anyways, John Ryan here from IGN, and we are looking at the Temple of Trials in Ni No Kuni. The first one up is going to be the Test of Wits, which is essentially just a series of puzzles that you have to solve using your magic. The first one up is this 4-statue puzzle. You've got to use your puppet strings spell to position them in a certain order. You talk to this monitor's bird, and he tells you that the dragon sees the warrior's sword while the burn is shown his shield. The beast, meanwhile, looks to his right and sees an empty field. Don't you just love poetry? I don't. Anyways, basically all this means is that you've got to put the beast, which is that cow-looking thing, all the way on the far left. The might character, which stands for the warrior, goes in between the other 2 empty slots. The dragon goes on his left-hand side because he's being shown his sword, and then on the right you get the bird, and that'll solve the puzzle right there. So we're going to move on to the second puzzle, which is a little bit easier than this one. You always want to make sure that you ask the monitor bird for a hint. Some of them, like this next one, are a little bit more obvious. This one, you'd never really know what order to put them in. And then the last one, there's actually a weird little translation error, but we'll get to that in a moment. Anyways, the second trial in the Trial of Wits is fairly simple. All you gotta do is you can see that the floor, the tile patterns here make up a frog face symbol-y thing. And it looks like maybe the pillars on top could line up somehow, and if you're thinking that already, then you're absolutely right. You've just got to position those using puppet string so that they match up in perspective with the rest of the puzzle. And we're gonna move one more piece, and shablow! We did it. Alright, look at that. Cool, so that is the second trial in the Trial of Wits to test your brain might. And we're gonna move on to number 3. Number 3 is where it gets a little bit problematic. You'll come into this chamber and you see that there's kind of a puzzle laid out on the ground, plus you've got those 4 statues from the first room again. So the hint here is the bird is bound to dragon and moon, and on a star he sits. The beast links warrior, moon, and star, yet knows not where he fits. God, I really hate crappy poetry. Anyways, essentially this just means that you've got to place certain statues in between the markers on the floor. So what you do is, for example, you're going to put the bird on that first star on the first column in the first row closest to you, and then move the dragon to that far right corner sunspot. So that the dragon is on the sun star, and then the moon is next to the bird, so he links those 2 together. Okay? So the beast has to link sun, star, and the warrior. The thing is here, the warrior isn't really specified. It's a sun star creature, but as far as this puzzle is concerned, they don't tell you that it doesn't matter where the warrior goes. So I wasted a good 15 to 20 minutes trying to figure out how to do this with the warrior on the sunspot before finally realizing, oh, it doesn't matter where he goes. So keep that in mind. This is the end-up configuration that you want. So there it is. Look at that. The last row goes beast, warrior, blank, dragon, and the front row is blank, blank, bird, blank. So yeah, so that's it for the Trial of Wits. You'll presented with the token that shows that you completed this trial and can move forward in the whatever wizard crap. Anyways, moving on, we're going to go to the Trial of Friendship, which is more just kind of an exercise in trial and error than anything else. For the Trial of Friendship, you're essentially... It's a stupid name for a trial. Anyways, the Test of Friendship. You've got to navigate both paths as they sort of collapse out from under you, controlling each character with an individual thumbstick. So Oliver is your left thumbstick, Esther is your right thumbstick. It's actually quite simple. It might just controlling both of them. I advise trying to do each one individually. Sort of like if you've got a straightaway, you can do them both. Like right here, it's just, I'm just walking forward, we can do both at the same time. However, when the path gets a little bit more convoluted like it does here, further down the line, there'll be bits where they cross over one another. You really want to move one independently of the other. And it's okay because the floor isn't collapsing at an incredibly high rate of speed, so you've got a little bit of time wherein you can, plan out who you want to do first, who's got the more complex route to take. It changes up a fair amount, but usually Oliver ends up being the one who has to thread the thinnest needle, if you will. But also you notice that there is a small button there, and Esther needs that. So you really just gotta pay attention and then, move as quickly as possible. Once you get to the second and then the third stages, that's when you'll really get into, oh crap, the floor is gonna fall out from under me. Like right here, it's kind of starting to go on Oliver's side, and then, oh, he finally makes it, oh, thank God. So anyways, this is a trial and error thing, there's not many tips or tricks I can really give you aside from, take your time and be okay with messing up once in a while, because it will happen. This is not as difficult as some of the puzzles if you were trying to solve it without the help of this video, because puzzles are hard, and we're gamers. Our brains aren't that powerful. Well, maybe yours is, mine isn't. Anyways, so that's the test of friendship, and then we'll move on to the test of strength in the next video.